Oh, I wanted to do this. I just finished premiering a video just like a minute ago, and it's about rebound relationships. See, I know everybody relates. All of you can relate. So just try and watch the video and drop your comments in the comment section. It's going to be really, really appreciated. I know we all have been there. Either romantically or not. We've all been there before. No one wants to feel pain. It's just like the song that Two Face sang. Nobody want buy, but they want to heaven. We don't want to feel pain. We want to get over something. It's not possible, guys. Pain is part of human existence. Okay, I try to come up live and then still do my skincare routine. In case you don't know, I'm a skincare enthusiast. I have a second channel. It is just Asma'u, right? Very simple to locate on YouTube. The same name here, Asma'u, but the difference is that that one does not have media, while this one has media. There you get to know what I really, really do behind the scene, aside from coming here to talk with you guys on TV shows, self improvement, and all of that. I am also an enthusiast, and I've been on the road for a while, and it really affected my skin. For those of you that live in the northern part of Nigeria, a hello, kudos to you guys. Like, I can't believe I was once living in those areas before. I was born and brought up in Jos, actually, yeah, in Plateau State. Yeah. But I'm originally from Nasarawa State, so basically, I'm from the north central part of Nigeria. But currently, so many activities in life brought me down to the south, and it's entirely a different ball game when we talk of the weather. The weathers are just totally different. There is no relationship, there is no alliance, honestly, between the weather and the north central part of the country. Not talk of the far north. Yeah, I know that that one is especially those in the areas that are like deserts, so sub-Saharan desert areas. Yeah, even as it is like that, the north central is even way better than the deep part of the north. I don't know, have I, which part of the north have I visited? Okay, I visited Kano, I've visited Bauchi, basically, that's all. So all my life I've lived in the north central part of Nigeria. Hi guys, thank you so much for coming. Let's just talk about anything and everything. I've been on the road for a while, so I really had a terrible experience with my skin. But I've been on it. I've worked on it to a large extent. So I just decided to come on live while we're having this live stream. Let me be this ability skincare routine. I don't know how you guys are gonna take it. Thank you so much for people on the live stream. Give the stream a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Hi everyone. I missed you guys. You see, this social media thing is kind of therapeutic, and that's why it's painful when you come on social media and you see vile comments, you see derogatory comments, you see condescending comments. The creator might come sit in front of their cameras and laugh, smile, say all sorts of jokes, but deep down they are going through something that they just find this place an escape route, right? So it's normal for every creator to always say be nice with your comments, because sometimes you don't know what these creators go through. We go through a lot behind the scene. We go through a lot. It's hectic. It might not necessarily be emotional lots, but it could be a lot emotionally as well. We have feelings too. We're humans. We also have relationships. The ones that are striving and the ones that are not striving at all. But I try not to let it be a thing for me. Yeah. And hence the reason why I just premiered that video, rebound relationships. People tend to want to escape, find easier alternatives, not to feel pain. But pain is part of life. If you don't even feel pain as a human being, how do you appreciate yourself? How do you appreciate um, life in general? hmm So there's time for everything. Even the religious books says it. There's time for everything. There's time to cry. There's time to be happy. There's time to be um to meet good people. There's also time to meet bad people. There's time to eat. There's time to stay hungry. That is spiritual hunger, maybe during fasting. Yeah, that's a spiritual one that comes in a season as well. There's time to marry, there's time to mourn, there's time for everything basically. So you can't just wake up in life and think that you can get everything at a go or at a fixed time. Okay, what do I mean by at a fixed time? There's literally um, things you could actually get at a fixed time. That is, there's time for everything, like I said. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't think that you wake up every day and you're happy. You wake up every day and you're rich. You wake up every day and you're beautiful. You wake up every day and you have the best relationships in your life. You wake up every day and you have all of the luxury in life that you have ever craved for. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why there's a general saying that says that everything worth doing is worth doing well. There are so many statements that are out there for a reason. While we're talking, let me just begin my stilts, my routine. I'm just trying to do a detox. Like I was on the road, I said. I visited the northern part of north central part of Nigeria. You know, and this our country is very big, oh, very, very big. A lot of people do not have an idea. I'm not like a great traveler. To be honest with you, I don't even like traveling. Yeah, I don't like it. Like I don't just like traveling. It takes a toll on my being. It takes a toll on my person. Yeah. So I was on the move and so many things were involved. I went to an environment that was very cold. And guess what? I refused to shower. Keep it between you and I. Did you hear that? So basically, the dirt on the skin did me a lot of disservice. Mm. So since I got back, I've been trying to work on it, but it's good now. It's in a good. I'm in a very very good place now, like very good place, super duper good place. So what I'm just doing, I'm just detoxing, you know, for something that has been. So I'm in a very good place. Truly, 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 I'm impressed with myself and my. So guys, what do you guys think about the videos I've been dropping of recent, the self improvement videos I've been dropping? You guys are not watching. It's like it's just BB Niger content. If it's not BB Niger content, you guys are not even interested. Even some people that say we should do trendy gist, the trendy gist that don't suffer. Hmm? And I don't like gossiping. I once said that. Do I do sometimes so? Like there's this video that is been trending, though it's not a it's not is a foreign creator about the trophy wife. You see, that is why on this app, I just believe in self improvement. Hi, Christiana. Nobody likes gossip when it's about them. Yeah, exactly, Christiana. Nobody likes gossip, truly. And and for me personally, I am being careful because I don't want to say something that will backfire. Because even these days, they allegedly see creators are at risk these days. Creators are seriously at risk. You just have to be careful because gone are the days when you think celebrities will not even see your content. You're too small of a content creator for you to even be noticed by a celebrity. But it will shock you. Huh? Look what happened to I forgot the name of that lady. Is it Joy that is her name or so? That went to review that Erisco tomato paste. That this was a lady that was barely how many people? Not even up to, they said that time not even up to 50 people she had on Facebook that she went to review Erisco tomato paste. Before anything, that thing got her into trouble. So now, no matter how small of a creator you think you are, you have to be very careful because these days going viral online is very, very easy. Like, okay, not very, very easy per se, but it could just happen at any time. Do you understand? You don't know which content you will drop that will just take you global. So you have to be very careful. Gone are the days when we sit down and say things about people, especially celebrities. But it's weird. These celebrities are equally human beings. It's just that they're in the public eye. They are equally human beings like you and I. They feel pain. According to Christiana, she said, gossip, nobody likes gossip, especially it's about them. Exactly. Now look at lawsuits left, right, and center. Erisco just didn't handle the issue properly. That's what made her popular. Yes, yes, you're very correct. The guy was too, and like, well, I think there was too much passion, will I say, added, and too much emotion in that thing. Let me tell you something. I noticed, Christiana. This, like, older men, like, let's say men in their 60s, 70s. These men don't know much about the social media. Do you understand? They don't know much about social media. What will I say? Not that they don't know about social media, but they don't know how it works. So they take everything personal. And don't forget that these men are old school. So they still believe in that strong values of respect. Do you understand? Of younger ones respecting their old elders, which I'm not saying respect is still not part of our culture. It is part of our culture, but they have not come to the realization of that free speech, and they have not come to accept that these young ones of now, they are very bold. Do you get things that could not be said before? Who are you to say that your elder is wrong? Your elders are always correct. Even if they say go and put hand inside fire, you go and put hand inside fire because your elder said so. But this new generation now, they have changed the dynamics of everything. And here's the reason why also Falana and Very Dark Man are having issues. This is an old man. Now he sees threats on social media. Just like as soon as I came on this live now, I was saying something about creators' mental health, blah, 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 blah. In as much as a content creator, I know about all these things. But when I come on live and I see a very derogatory comment, does it get me? Yes, it does get me, but not in a way that it will get to these older men. These older men, they have upheld power for a longest time. They saw power being held. They themselves now they've gotten to that same position of power, and they are upholding it so strong. So there are certain things you will say they take it personal. And the fact that, especially in Africa, let me be more specific, because in the Western world, I don't think it's really like that, you know. So we here in Africa, our elders are so strict, like they are very, very strict. What he doesn't know that with social media there is no bad PR. Yes, all PRs are for a business good if handled properly. Yeah, that's it. Exactly, Christiania. That's what I'm trying to say. His age. That's the thing. Time changes, and when it changes, you also need to change. That's why they say change is constant. You get change is constant. In the past, people hide a lot of things from social media, but as it stands now, 70% of people live their lives more on social media than they do offline. Do you know that it got to a point that I had to like caution myself? I had to bring myself back to reality. I had more friends online than I did offline. I literally was not even having a life any longer offline. I was so obsessed about social media. So it's the time. Do you understand? It's the timing. Now for that Erisco guy now, look at him now. That's a man that is almost up to 70, if I'm not mistaken. So he doesn't know how these things work. Now he would have even used that lady to his advantage. Okay, okay, ma, what is it? You see, so not everyone can take criticism, even both young, old, middle age, and all of that. Not everyone can take criticism. And his own, I think, is a man that is filled with ego. No trust Anambra man, if I'm not mistaken. He's an Igbo man, Abishi Anambra, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, Christian, are you a Nigerian? Yeah, I believe you're a Nigerian since you know so much about this Erisco case. You get he had this inflicted ego that just scattered his line of thought, and I don't even know who his advisors are. I don't know who he works with, because a man of that, okay, yeah, a man of that caliber should have all age grades working with him. He should even have even Gen Z to help him translate some things that he doesn't know, because but unfortunately, he's just Steve on maybe what he's used to. And there are some people that, as long as what they are used to is making them money, is bringing them money, they really don't care to make any effort. They really don't care to progress or to step up their game. Do you understand? Some people are just comfortable being where they are as long as they are making enough. Do you get? You understand? A man, like, the way I gave him so much respect. Will I use the word respect? Yeah, I would give him respect because he has achieved a lot. If it's working, don't break it. Yeah, if it's working, don't break it. But sometimes you can introduce, you can be flexible, not necessarily introduce, but you can be flexible. What do I mean by you can be flexible? The way he approached this girl with so much pain. This is somebody you don't even know. And how many cups of the Erisco did she even buy? It's not just one. If I'm not mistaken, it's not just one or two thereabouts. She didn't even buy up to a carton. But at the end of the day, that was a customer. If it was for me, if it was someone that was flexible, he would have seen how other international brands work. Yeah. So if he was Indomie, what will he do? That there's no allegation that has not been placed on Indomie. So if he was the one that was producing Indomie, what would he have done? Or if he's one that has been producing Coca-Cola, is there something that has not been said about Coca-Cola? Some things that I'm even scared to say now, so YouTube will not shut down this live stream. If he was all of those people, what would he have done? If it's working, like you said, don't break it, but just still be flexible. Do you understand? Every day we're a work in progress, but just like I said, these older men, if you look at it, and most of these men, they believe in they come from that generation of patriarchy. I'm not saying patriarchy is still not on. Patriarchy is still working very hard in just the way feminism is also working very hard in the whole world. But when you look at those men, they come from that typical African patriarchy setting where they feel that women are beneath them. See, if that review had come from a man, let me just be a little bit critical here. I don't think that guy would have overreacted. But because it came from a woman, he felt that not only did she bruise his ego, but he didn't look beyond his ego. She's a customer, whether he likes it or not. Without her bringing her her money to buy those products, he will not exist. Hollandia had similar issues on TikTok and got a good review. They visited the lady, gave her cartons, and called back all the production badge. That's it. And let me tell you something, Christiana. After that ladies issue, the Erisco, you know, even before then, let me just be very careful because even before then, I'll not lie to you. I the first batch, the first time I used that Erisco tomato paste, I liked it. Let me just tell you something, Christiana. I liked it. But by the next time, I remember I was so I complimented I like I only say the word compliment, but I was telling the vendor that gave it to me, I was like, this tomato you gave me is very nice. One thing I noticed with that Erisco paste was that it wasn't sour, unlike the other tomato paste that was sour. That one wasn't sour. Do you understand? So I didn't need to work hard on how to mask the sour taste of most of these tin tomatoes. So after consuming that one, when I went back again to get that same paste, I told the lady to give me that same product. When she gave me, honestly, when I used it the second time, I didn't feel good about it like I did the first time. There was something I noticed, one significant thing I noticed. The volume reduced, to be honest with you. When I first used it, I enjoyed it. It volumized, though I mixed it with fresh tomato and all that. But when I tried it the second time, it didn't give me the same result. So basically, I really don't know. Was it the production? Right? Because I use this paste myself. So probably it also fell the same line. I also had similar experience with that. Probably her own words of review maybe was a little bit too harsh, where she said that this thing is going to buy people, and I don't know. But she didn't even say it in the review per se, it was in the comment section. She said it. Honestly, firsthand. So if I should review things like that, will the man also come and arrest me? I don't understand. The first time I used it, I enjoyed it 100%. When I even went back, I told the vendor, I liked that paste you gave me. Please, I would want it again. But when I bought it the second time, I didn't get the same experience as the first time. So just like you said, but that of Hollandia, there is production, probably there was production problem. Like Christiana, outside this page, I also have another page where I don't think it was because it was a lady. He made mention that he had the power to make her disappear because of his connection with the IG. So it's a money ego issue. Okay, let's just still, we can hold on to anything because the energy he puts into humiliating that lady. I am tempted to think the other way around. Like, why? You don't know this lady from anywhere. It's not like you've had any history with this lady's family. Maybe her father or her mother have offended you in like yeah, it's about money, ego issue. Yes, and just one customer. And you know that thing, if you ask me, I wouldn't know how the market system works, but I believe it affected him because personally, me, Asma'u, I would never buy that product again. I would never. Aside from the fact that I had that experience, like I enjoyed the first badge I used, but the second badge I didn't enjoy it. But after following the story of that lady, because I followed it to the latter, I followed it in details because it was so painful. Even BBC featured her. Featured her. It was so painful. She was pregnant. She lost the pregnancy. What she went through in Kirikiri, and to think that she was based in, I think she was based in where Sef? Lagos, right? And they dragged her to Abuja, if I'm not mistaken. You can imagine. She was like, why don't the whole thing happened in Lagos? So why didn't you sue her in Lagos? Like, okay, let's assume he sued her where he had more power, or so I don't know. But after that thing, I just developed one. I don't want to use a harsh word, but I would never, even if that tomato paste becomes one of the best in Nigeria, I would never use it again. Why? Because you see, one thing about owning a brand and being the face of the brand, you have to be very, very careful. I have a cosmetic brand, Christiana. There are times I pick offense to, like when I know not every, and one thing again, as a manufacturer, you should know that not everyone will like your products. Not everyone will, and it's okay. Even you, it's not every product you pick up in the market that you like. There are some you like, there are some you don't like, and there are some you will like temporarily. There are some that you will like permanently. You get, it's not everything you see that you like, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. I remember talking one time to a lady and she was condemning a particular product. And I told her, no, that product is a good product. It just wasn't good for you. So there's no need for you to condemn it. Some people make that, So just because somebody resisted or did not like your paste, how did the case end? I didn't follow through. Okay, well, people sued him, like human rights had to step in. This case even went international. Honestly, it was serious like that. So when he started having those condemnation, the lady's husband, the lawyer, they sued the Risco guy. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, they decided to settle everything behind closed doors. But the woman got freed in as much as she lost a pregnancy. She was pregnant at that time. So the whole emotional roller coaster, like it was, he now, just like I told you, he's old school. So he doesn't know how the country has evolved. He doesn't know what social media has become now. He doesn't know how social media can cancel you in a minute. So I think when he saw it, I'm sure he's not stupid. He has kids. He has advisors, obviously. He has people working with him. He's not the only one working. It's so unfortunate that he's a very stubborn man. Let me use that word. That guy is a very, very, all this very stubborn, just like I said, all those patriarchy that feel that they just feel like they're God. They're a God themselves. So the people, the lady's husband as well, the lawyer sued. You understand? Because he claimed that the lady did he was given an issue of defamation, but literally he was one that deformed. And in the past, he himself had made vile statements about other brand and forgot. You see, one thing with social media doesn't forget. He himself has made a terrible review on a particular product. There's something I noticed. Some people, in order to sell, people that I even there are some people even on this social media space that I respect a lot, but they've done this thing, and I just look at them and I smile, just because they are bringing in a product into the market. Like I said myself, I have a product line outside this space. I'm also a manufacturer myself. I manufacture cosmetic product, but not bleaching cosmetic product with Christiana. Now, this is my body cream. Just because I want to introduce this body cream to the market, it doesn't give me the right to start condemning others. And I notice a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that, and I don't know why. People that I have high respect for, they do that, and I'm like, why? The sky is big enough for everyone. The Erisco himself has come out to condemn other products. Yes, in the same light, but he has forgotten. Just because he reached his head small, he became mad. He became like a wounded lion. Yeah. So I noticed that thing. Some people, their business strategy is cocky. They come out and condemn other people's products just because they want to bring in their own products. I remember on this same social media space, there's a lady, still, like I said, I'm into the beauty aspect or industry as well. Her name is Susan Yara. She introduced a product, Naturium. Now no one knew that that product was her from her brand, because she's a beauty influencer, so they thought she was just influencing for that brand. And when she came on board at first, she started condemning other products. She started condemning other products. And I'm like, okay. And then while she was condemning it, she was forwarding her own. While she was condemning, nobody knew it was her own. So the day she eventually opened up and said that brand that she kept promoting was her own, it became an issue for her, which she would wish she had kept it a secret. She would wish she had just put herself like, okay, an ambassador of that brand, but not the owner of the brand. At the end of the day, the heat was too much for her. She had to sell the brand. So I noticed that some brand owners behave that way. The Erisco himself has condemned other brand and forgotten. But because the social media never forgets, and like I told you, men like this do not know how to use the social media. They use it to basically because they know that that's one of the in thing, that's one of the popular thing. But they don't know how it works. They don't even know how to use it. So his own clips too were brought out where he was also saying shit about other people's products and all of that. And then the threat, he threatened the lady, everything, all he said worked against him. And you know, the thing that that man did, that I would say he made a mistake, just like you said, it was ego, money, ego issues. He um he engaged in interviews, and in the heat of the moment, in those interviews, he said vile things. He said things that he was not supposed to say. See, I don't know. That man, I think, has anger issues. It's people that are close to him that will be able to tell us more about him. He went on mainstream media because old men like that are more addicted to mainstream media. So he went more on mainstream media and made some kind of statements that he was not supposed to make, made some kind of threats, made some kind of will I say promises that he was not supposed to make, because you can't say that you're going to deal with it. He was talking like he was talking to his workers. I just pity those that are working under that man, because what he just showed us on the media, I think, is a tip of an iceberg. It just tells you that, for me, I don't know him in person, but what I saw him portraying says a whole lot about who he is in behind behind the media or something like that. He said things, a lot of things that he was not supposed to say. So, but that's, by the way, personally for me, I would say he single-handedly destroyed his brand, because that Erisco paste was going places. I even remember the late Onyeka Onwenu was even advertised for that product. Yeah, she did advertisement for that product. Well, I'm sorry, that's by the way. So let's talk about another thing. Let's talk about, I don't know how many of you have seen a video making rounds about this trophy wife that, let me use our Nigerian slang, that entered one chance. You see, I watch content, self-improvement content, and one or two things, which I'm even bringing stuff like that on my page online. But there are so many things that I just feel that it doesn't work for everyone. I can't sit down here and tell you that do like this, do like this. Like, what am I trying to say? There's some relationship advice, or even in general, life advice, that I cannot come and sit here and tell you that that's the rule. It might have worked for me, but it will not work for someone else, right? Okay, what am I saying? This content creator, her name is Isis, 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 right? Okay, she's this very elegant, beautiful lady that creates content around hypogamy. What do I mean by around hypogamy? About women putting themselves in a position to attract rich men, marry alpha male. I don't know if that's what still exists. Yeah. And live the best life. How to be a trophy wife. Mm-hmm. See, there are some people that just come on this social media space and contradict themselves 100%. Haunting, let me use that word. I hope it's not going to sound condescending. But hunting in general, especially when it comes to romantic hunting, where a man is hunting for a woman is hunting for a man, hunting is popular among men. So when a woman, you put yourself in a position to hunt, that's a masculine trait. There is no femininity in that trait, if you ask me. That's a full-time masculine trait. where you are preparing yourself, you're acting in a certain way, you're doing this. Why do you have to put yourself in a situation? Why is it that men do not put themselves in a situation to get a good woman? Why is it that it's women that have to put themselves in a situation? And if you look at it basically, when it comes to the union of marriage, I think the women give more. How market with that naughty statement of what do you bring to the table? Everyone brings everything to the table. In fact, that brings me to a topic that I will film as soon as I finish this live stream about gender rules. Yes, we know that gender rules are relevant, but it doesn't mean that everyone is not putting their efforts. Me as the woman, I know what I'm supposed to do as a female, and a man knows what he's supposed to do as a man. But making it look like it's a sacrifice, obviously, when you want things to work, but making it look like is, I don't know, it's almost like it comes with, I don't know which word to use. I'm looking for the right word to use. But what I'm saying is that when I'm putting in my own part, I should be grateful I'm putting in that part. And the same thing, when you're putting in that part, your own part, you should also be grateful. This woman sits down in front of her camera, films, telling women how to do this, how to do that. And as I said earlier, I do not take, there's many advice I do not take on social media because I am not the case study. Someone else is the case study. So what make you think that what worked for this person will equally work for you? Are you the case study? It worked for her, and probably it might work for some other women that will take that same advice from her. But I know the day, sister went to enter one chance, better sweet one chance like this. The so-called trophy wife ish, the alpha male, the wealthy, ended up being a pedo, and he took advantage of her kids. Like, I think they're also his kids. One is 4, one is 2. Like, it was terrible like that. So at this point, it's not better you're with a man that is not rich. That it's, so some things that are a do or die for some people might not necessarily be a do or die for some other people. Do I want to live a good life? Yes, who doesn't want to live a good life? But I do not want to live a good life that looks like I am so desperate to live that good life. I want to live a good life. I want to be rich. I want to have loads of money. Hmm? But I don't want it to be like the standard of my life. Do you get? I don't want it to define me. I don't want all those material things to define me, because this woman, if you go on her channel, she has plenty of videos. I don't know how many to be precise, talking about being a trophy wife, talking about being pretty, talking about being fit. Like, it's almost like her lifestyle. She wakes up in the morning, all she thinks about is how to be that woman that her man wants. How about the man being the man that she too will want? Because let me tell you something about relationships, right? What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. If I'm trying my best to be a good woman or a good wife, I should expect the man to also try to be a good husband. It's so unfortunate that we women looks like we suppress our own needs and our own wants, but the men do not suppress theirs. They throw it to your face. They tell you this. See, it's so unfortunate that women go out of their way to try to change a man, but men do not do that. If a man comes to a woman and she is not up to the standard of what he wants, he moves to the next one. He looks for another one. Does not think twice. He dumps you to go look for what he wants. But our own is so bad. In fact, our own in Africa, let me be more specific, in Nigeria, where these women, we dwell on. I'm not saying it's bad to pray, but they will now say that they are praying for the man to change. Wait, oh, I don't understand. Why can't a man sit down and pray for a woman to change? When a man even goes to his religious advisor and tells him that, look at what his wife is doing, the religious advisor will straight up tell him to divorce her. I was watching a clip of one of these preachers on TikTok, and this preacher was boldly saying that if a wife refuses her husband the matrimonial rights, that's the intimacy rights, that he should divorce her. I don't understand. Is that what marriage is all about? Wow. Wow. So it's weird where you wake up in the morning as a woman, keep your camera in front of you, and speak to other women that are actually digesting this content themselves, trying to be a trophy wife. Trophy wife. I'm even trying to still understand the meaning of that trophy wife thing. So some of us that don't listen to all those tips or don't go by those tips, so we're not going to be trophy wives. Yeah. So what are we going to be now? You see this thing called trophy wife thing. It's even funny. It's a laughable context in general. Like, how do you program yourself? Okay, so wait. If God forbid something happens to that man, not even divorce, so how do you now look for another? How do you now? So you now have to do a trophy wife rebranding, or what if those things you did worked for a particular man and it does not work for another person? So your life, you become very gullible. Hmm? I remember watching a content creator. I was talking about how some women just keep going with the flow. What do I mean? He said he had this ex that at that time when they were together, because he loved football, she equally also loved football. And I think this is one of the things that the trophy wife sort of preaches about: love what your man loves, being into what he also loves. Like, so for how long will you continue to metamorphosize? How long will you continue to change your life? These men will never change their lives for you. He said he loves football, and before anything, she also fell in love with football. She also became a football fan. So when they broke up, and she now started dating another guy, that other guy was a basketballer fan. He loved basketball, and before anything, she also dived into loving basketball. For how long would you do that to yourself? At the end of the day, you wake up one day, you literally do not have an identity. You wake up one day as a female, you literally do not have an identity in the name of trying to be a trophy wife. Okay, now look what happened to her. At this point, she's broken up with the man. So how does she do? How does is it going to be? So what is it going to be? I'm not laughing at her situation because it's really pathetic. It's really, really pathetic. Please don't get it mixed up. I'm not making jest of her situation, but it just and I'm so proud of her. Honestly, if there's anything, Isis, I give it to you. Hands up. The fact that you were able to still come back in front of your camera and say the truth to your audience and open up to your audience, because there are a lot of disciples that she has. So I don't like following all these their I don't like following all these their I don't like buying all these their free data. It can be very hectic. I don't know, my connection is just misbehaving. I'm not trying to laugh at this woman's predicament. It's very pathetic, truth be told. But so what is it going to be now? Trophy wife in the ground. How is it going? With all the trophy wife, you still couldn't and that's the problem, because you are the one who is working hard to be a true wife. Guess what? You might not even see the red flags. Now that's what happened to her. In the bid of trying to be like this, trying to be like that, trying to put herself in a state where she's going to be a trophy wife to get a rich man, she didn't observe a lot of things, because these things that we always stare you in the face, it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, she might have noticed it overnight. And you see, one thing I noticed about men is the fact that when you tell them about yourself, they use it against you. What do I mean? Okay, for women, let me speak as a woman. When you tell me that your ex-girlfriend was like this, was like this, was like that, I'll try my best. If I love you like that, I'll try my best not to replicate what your ex did that you didn't like. But in the aspect of men, is the opposite. When you tell them you've done this, you've done this, you've done this with an ex, now you have given them a clue on how to deal with you. They'll be like, okay, she's done this before. Okay, which means she can actually take it. Okay, she's done that before. Okay, which means she can actually. Do you understand? They do not try to avoid your triggers. Instead, they try to take advantage of it, because they feel that if you've done it before, you can still do it again. Let me give you a direct example. Let's say you are talking about an ex that you funded his studies, or you sponsored his business, or you gave money. Now, a man will think like, wow, she can actually give money to a guy. Okay. Now he will take advantage of that. The next thing is, after you guys have started dating, like sort of, he now begins to ask you for money. Why? Because you have given him the clue that you have given money to your ex before. So he takes advantage of the situation that if you've done this before, which means you can still do it again. But for we women, it's the opposite. Okay, he does not like a woman that is so materialistic. He does not like a woman that is always on social media. He does not like a woman that cannot cook and clean. Now, for we women, we now feel that okay, these are this man's turn-offs. Let's try not to do that. We'll try our best not to be too materialistic. We try our best to do the cleaning. We try our best to do the things that his ex did. Sorry, we try our best not to do the things I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. We try to make it better for the man. But when it comes to the woman saying things that are her own turn offs, the man takes it upon him to take advantage of those turn offs because he feels that if she had taken them before, she will take them again. Let me give you a very direct example. If a lady meets a new guy and probably the conversation about her ex comes up, which I really don't even like talking about my past relationships, and she says that her ex was violent towards her. For a woman, when you say that to a woman, she'll try not to be violent towards you, right? She will now realize, okay, things like this is going to hurt you, is going to cause um, um the fall of the relationship. But for a man, it's the opposite. You'll be like, okay, since she was able to take that violence or those abuse from that other guy, she should also be able to take it from me. So you telling so much about your past to a present man, guy, it's a disadvantage to you. Now, this same trophy wife, she had this similar experience of abuse, which I believe she told the guy. And the guy just replicated the same experience she had in her childhood to her own kids. Do you know how traumatizing that thing is? Do you know how painful that thing is? That lady will not be able to forgive herself, in as much as it's not her fault. Ladies, come closer. I'm not a professional, but I'm just saying it from my little experiences that your past is your past. It's not everything that you let out. This stomach is not only for food, it's not only for water, it's not only for air, it's also for some of your secrets. Yes. So there are certain things that you shouldn't be in as much as you guys have gotten to this emotional point where you have this, you think you have this emotional connection. Hi, I'm from Chess Republic. Hi, Candy. Doesn't mean that you begin to start vomiting things that why do you think that when this red pill movement was hotting, was booming, there's always that issue of body counts on the female part? Why do you want to know? Oh yeah, tell me your own now. And then because these men are selfish, they will not tell you that for a man to have more body count that makes him attractive, or for a woman to have more body. Really? As in, I have a live stream where I spoke about accountability. I don't get it, guys. See, if I start talking now, some of you will begin to hate me. You will think that I am a. But it's just the reality of life. As you grow older, you get to find out how these things work. When you're younger, you're in the. You're like highly. You're when you're as a younger lady, let me say, of 20s. You're in the demanding pool, like you're at your peak, so you are in charge. You wouldn't notice these things, but when you start getting older, start getting to your late 30s, 40s, 50s ish. I'm funny, right? Okay, Christiana, thank you. Yes, so you're still live. Yes, I'll soon be rounding off. Sha. I just want to be here maybe an hour or so, then I'll leave. Christiana, you said I'm funny, Candy. I'm just saying it as it is. Men are very selfish. I'm not saying women too are not there, but when you look at the dynamics and when you look at the patriarchy ish that we are tending to ignore, it prepares the ground for them more. Do you understand? Coming back to our African homes, when you have, I don't know if you grew up in a household where you had both male and female siblings, you would see that the female is the one who is put on blast most of the time. Like, do like this, do like when you even just commit small mistakes for small, let me not use the word small shabo. When you commit an offense or when you make a mistake, we're human. Hey, is this how you is this it's a whole lot, it's taken out of 11 people on this live stream. Give this live stream a thumbs up, please. Give it a thumbs up so that I can continue talking. Hmm? This channel is not yet monetized. I would have been asking you for super chat, but since it's not, I cannot ask for super chat. Oh yeah, just let me ask for thumbs up. Please, that one is free of charge now. It's not going to touch your account. Eh? Give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thumbs up before I continue talking. Let me at least I have let me just have any of this. Give me a thumbs up first before I continue talking. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, please. Just double tap on the screen. Most of you are on TikTok. You know how it is now. Just double tap on the screen and automatically. Okay, I've gotten one thumbs up already. Okay. I'll soon be rounding up though. I thought I would stay up to an hour, but I don't know if I can. I'll soon be rounding up just now. It's not like I'm rounding up because there's no, okay, I've gotten about 3 thumbs up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. But when you look at it honestly, critically, women or ladies are taught to grow up to be wives, but men are not really taught to grow up to be husbands. So that is why in some cases you see that you really sometimes have to teach some men how to love you right. Yeah? Because you can easily meet a man that is a very good father, a very good brother, a very good uncle, but not necessarily a good husband. You can easily meet that kind of man. Because when you look at it, especially in the African homes, like I always see, the women are the ones who are taught to be wives, but men are not really taught to be husbands. They could be taught to be good men. Don't get it twisted. Christiana, you're still here, right? They could be taught to be good men. That's why I said they could be really, really good men. But there's that aspect of them that, you know, wasn't a woman grows up, you must cook. You must learn how to cook. Why? Because you get married and cook for your husband. You must learn how to clean the house because when you get married, you have to clean your house. Yeah, you can't stay dirty. You have to tidy up everybody's. You have to clean up. You have to clean up after everyone. So you must learn how to be a homemaker. But the aspect of where the men are taught how to be husbands, is it there? Do you realize that your wife has days that she 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 not were directed towards that direction? When your husband comes back from work, of course you should know that he's exhausted, blah blah blah. You shouldn't stress him and all of that. But do these men themselves realize that we two women, we also have that down days, those days that we're also emotionally down and we need support? Or no, we're just like a clock. We keep working till we break down. It's when we now break down, we can no longer function to be like, wow, so it got to this point. Oh, really? The same feelings that you have as a human being, the other person also has it. Forget the gender. And our own self, the female gender is even worse. Do you know why I said it's worst? Our hormones our hormones are not friendly at all. The hormones, either when you're ovulating or when you're menstruating or when you're pregnant or when the hormones are not favorable at all. So that even makes us worse than most of these men think. There's also mortem stress, like when a woman gives birth, postmortem depression can set in for some women that some men will not understand. And most cases, that is where some divorce happens. The man will say she has changed. Now, he does not realize that there's that aspect of a woman's life that she cannot even control. Most of the time, is not there. And that is why you see the Western world, they introduce that aspect where the man has to also go for, he follow the woman to antenatal, go for, and listen to some of those antenatal lectures to realize that there are so many things that change. Yes, you married a very kind woman, but suddenly that woman became very harsh and aggressive, and you think that she just changed just like that. Wow. You don't see it like it goes deeper than just she changing. You don't see it that way. The man changes, and we have to understand that he's going through a lot. He has stress to deal with, so we should try not to stress him more. But when a woman goes through that phase in her life, she has changed. And for anything, it's time to replace her. Where you show her the door, show her the way out, and then get another new one. For how long? It's so unfortunate. And some women will sit down and say that they're giving you content on how to be a trophy wife, on how to do this, on how to do that. This same person giving tips on how to be a trophy wife ended up with a pedophile that abused her kids. And to think that she also went through the same pattern in life and it was repeated on her kids. Who better than her knows the pain? Who better than her knows that pain? And she opens up to a man that she thinks loves her. And then he repeated the same thing to her kids. Do you know, like, it's really, really unfortunate. Some people drop content online saying some kind of harsh things. I don't blame them much because you can't sit down here and think you have the blueprint on how to attract a rich man. Is that all only about his riches? Like I said, I also want to live the good life. But if living the good life is going to get to this extent, then no, I don't like. I no, 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 no. You can't just be fishing for a rich man and not fishing for other attributes of a good man. He's rich. He provides you with everything, vacation, luxury items. But he was a pedophile. He was abusing your kids without you knowing. So what is the good life with such pain? That is pain, a pain that she would never forget because she's been there before. So you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Exactly, Candy. You see what I'm saying? You pursued the bag. You made sure you acted right to get a rich man and be the trophy wife, right? Okay, you were actually the trophy wife because you ended up being. I watched that woman. It was a huge pity, but I just wanted to put it out there that hypogamy takes you nowhere. Takes you nowhere. If you're not careful, it will take you to a place where you will regret why you even went to get married to someone that was on that level of you calling yourself a trophy wife. And this man has money, he has connection. Yeah, she has social media. She came online. In fact, as it stands now, that video has more than 2 million views. What does it really do for her? Does it get her justice? I hope it does. Because those two innocent girls, they need to get justice. They have to get justice. And it's bad when that abuse came from their own biological father. It's bad like that. It's terrible. They are young. Hopefully they will forget. But can she ever forget? Because she's been there before. So like I say, as a woman, you're positioning yourself to be a trophy wife, to be the best woman a man will want. Is that man also putting himself in a position where he's also a trophy husband? I don't know. Should I use the word trophy husband? Trophy husband can come off a little bit condescending sometimes, but let's just say a good man, a good husband. Can become that when I say trophy husband can be condescending to the women, that's what I mean. You know, the irony of the whole thing is that one man's food is another man's poison. Trophy wife sounds very good. Trophy wife is like an achievement, right? But trophy husband can cause a lot of problem on the other side. I remember when this what's her name, Vanessa or so. Vanessa, this cricket, is it cricket she plays? Or what? Sorry, she plays a sport. Um, I'm not too sure. And she came online. She and her husband, I think they went on a podcast, and the man was talking about how she traveled